I'm the Water, Sanitation and Hygiene Program Manager for ACTED. I'm working in both Lebanon and Iraq, and so we're supporting both refugees and IDPs. So refugees from Syria, from Kurdistan in particular in Syria, and then IDPs who've been moved around Iraq as a result of the conflict. There's quite a difference in those populations. Populations who are dispersed and they're living amongst host communities, we have much bigger issues because we then sometimes see, firstly, it's difficult to find them, so they have to be located. We find that already in Iraq, in a lot of the areas that we're working, the villages, there was already issues with infrastructure, and so with water supply, with wastewater management, with solid waste management, and so some of these villages, the population has doubled as a result of the IDPs coming in, so those issues have just been exacerbated. The biggest risk, of course, is the health concerns, the health issues that arise. Diarrhea, you've got Hep A, typhoid, worms, obviously cholera, which is quite prevalent. There's been 2 outbreaks in the area that we're working over the last few years. So that's a huge issue for us coming into summer. That's something we need to be aware of. The single biggest challenge is potentially the poor water management in Iraq. The infrastructure is not there, so the water supply networks are not complete. There's no wastewater management really in the areas that we're working, and then there's over-extraction of groundwater. In the acute emergency, the best one that we have is chlorine tablets. People don't really enjoy using chlorine tablets, or sometimes they get misused because people don't like the taste. So they might not use them, or they put in too much, or they put in too little. After that, water filters. We distribute water filters. They last longer. They are very easy to use, and it allows a family who are actually quite transient sometimes to be able to take those filters with them, and it saves them, because if we distribute chlorine tablets, that's a once off or a twice off, whereas a family would have to keep purchasing, so it becomes a financial burden. Whereas with the water filter, you have something in your house that you can keep and that you can continually use to clean your water. A huge part of our program that is important is the hygiene promotion side. So we have teams who recruit local people from the community to go with them and talk to people about the importance of using the filter, how it's used, the importance of cleaning water. And then after that, we have our teams follow up and monitor and make sure it was clear how the filters should be used, why they're important. So there's a continuous dialogue with the community about water. So those teams who are out in the field are very important, but then the chlorine tablets in the initial, and then water filters in the longer term. The one that always gets me is that diarrhea still today is the second biggest killer of children under 5. We still need to do a lot to ensure that it shouldn't be a killer at all, and it's the second biggest killer for children under 5.